Welcome everybody. So I try to eat reasonably healthily. So like in the evenings, I actually like oats, organic oats as a snack, with just cold milk. Um, but in the mornings, I really do enjoy Kellogg's Raisin Bran. But there are a few little issues with it that I take the effort to address. So you can see here I've got the family size box and they've got the Simple Inside logo up here, which is right because the ingredients, it has a really short ingredients list, as you'll see in a second, which is always a good sign normally. Um, but yeah, the main issue with it is Kellogg's are still stuck in the in like the last century, where the thought was that fat was the big issue, saturated fat. But no, it turns out that excess sugar really is the issue for things like diabetes. Um, and you can see here, what I've done is I pour the contents onto a large baking tray, and remove all the raisins. And you can see them here. And yeah, Kellogg's, they coat them in sugar. Why? This is nature's candy. They're naturally a very sweet thing, raisins, aren't they? So what on earth are they doing? Um, and as a matter of interest, Post have also have a Raisin Bran, and it's horrible. I'm sorry. It's just I can't stand their version of Raisin Bran, but they don't coat their raisins. Um, so yeah, as I say, I take the time to actually wash off the sugar, and it's still plenty sweet enough. It just doesn't need it at all. So I mean, I've sent like emails to suggestions to Kellogg's to try and get them to change, but no, they they barely recognise my request or anything. Yeah, uh, let me show you the steps I go through. So, like I say, the first step is basically extract all the raisins, and I like do this in front of I'm like watching a TV show, so it's not a particularly laborious process, because I can still enjoy my TV show at the same time. Okay, and so let's actually look at the nutrition for um, the raisin bran. So you can see here the total sugars per 1 cup serving is 17 grams, which I mean that sounds high, but of course they're including in that the natural sugar in the raisins, which is not an issue. It's added sugar that you would need to be concerned about. Um, and yeah, so they're saying that includes 9 grams of added sugar. So let's see how much we can reduce that. And let's actually look at the ingredients here. So yeah, it's just whole grain wheat, raisins, wheat bran, which is good for your digestion, sugar, brown sugar syrup, and that's it. No BHT or anything like that. No, I don't know if I wrote to them about that, and I don't know if they probably got quite a few people sort of writing them, and yeah, they removed the BHT in this one cereal, so that's pretty good, isn't it? Okay, so here I've weighed the sugared raisins, and it's 138 grams basically. It says milliliters, but that's basically the same. Okay, so yes, 138 grams, and to um, to rinse the sugar off, what I found works very well is I just use my electric kettle with like a litre of filtered water, and I basically warm it up a bit in the electric kettle, and then I pour half of that into the jar I use there. Okay. And then I basically just massage them, just keep massaging the raisins with your hand. You wash your hands first, obviously, but basically, yeah, you want to wash your hands before you do any of this. And yeah, that works very well. You just sort of keep massaging them, and then that gets pretty much a good deal of the sugar off the raisins. And then you use your hand as like pour away the water and use your hand to keep the raisins in the bowl, and then repeat the process with the other half litre. Um, yeah, and then that gets practically all of the sugar off of the raisins, and you're then left with this. So you just then use a few sheets of kitchen paper in the large baking tray there, and then move the raisins back and forth with the back of your hand to dry them off as much as possible. And then yeah, just leave them on the side for a couple of hours. Um, to dry off, perhaps yeah, again move them around at some point to help with the removing the moisture. Um, and then yeah, when you move them around, you want to be careful not to be quite gentle, so you don't want to like separate the pieces of the kitchen paper. All right. Okay, and then when you're done, yeah, so what is that? So that's removed 14 grams worth of sugar. Now that isn't a huge amount, but as I say, it doesn't need it. It's plenty sweet enough because there's a little bit of sugar in the actual the bran flakes. It's I bet that if Kellogg's they actually stopped, dusting the raisins in sugar, they would get hardly any people complaining, and they'd probably get more people actually thanking them for removing the sugar. Um, and yeah, for the few people who like it a bit sweeter, they can just add a little bit of extra sugar, can't they? But I really wouldn't recommend that. In this day and age where um, as I say, they recommend you reduce the amount of added sugar in your diet as much as possible. Um, yeah, you don't want to be you want to remove where not necessary, um, and yeah, it has the added benefit because what I do then is I store these raisins in an airtight container, and what that allows me to do is just add the right amount of raisins for one serving. And for the family pack, I get like easily managed 12 servings where I weigh out 1.4 ounces of the flakes. And the thing is with these electric scales that they're really handy because you can you put your cereal bowl on the scale and then turn it on, and that zeroes it at with the weight of the bowl already included. And then I pour in my 1.4 ounces of the flakes, um, and then I just add the right amount of the raisins for that serving. And yeah, by doing that I easily managed 12 servings per the family size, which is, I mean, they say on the box you can get 11, but yeah, I easily manage 12. And I find, yeah, the 1.4 ounces, that's just the right amount for a good serving in the mornings. But I really hope Kellogg's might rethink that, because, as I say, I think so few people will, they may not even notice the fact that they've stopped, you know, adding the sugar, and I'll bet they get some compliments. You know, they could do something on the box to sort of emphasize the now extra healthy, and it uh, and unlike with some health products, you know, where you can really taste they've like reduced the sugar to practically nothing, or but no, that's not the case at all. As I say, it's still plenty sweet enough. And also the fact that you can judge the right amount of raisins is, I actually don't like it when you get like too many raisins. I actually don't like the taste of that at all. If you you know, that in one serving you get like a ton of raisins, that doesn't appeal at all. So that's another benefit of going to this effort. But yeah, I mean, it's I recommend giving it a go. You know, just give it a try, and as I say, you know, if you're doing some of this like in front of your favorite TV show, you know, the time goes by pretty quickly, and the rest of it, you know, is not particularly time consuming. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Bye for now.